3 is going to have all Varsity Female 69, 76, 84, and 84 plus classes. We are going to flop back and forth between Raw and Equipped divisions. I'm going to try my best to keep you updated, but also if you are watching the stream, you can see on the layover there if a lifter is in the Raw division, if they're in the Equipped division, and also what weight class they're in. As a reminder, this meet is one of a few official qualifiers for the 2024 IPF World Classic and Equipped Sub-Junior Championships, as well as the NAPF North American Powerlifting Championships. Both will take place later this year. And we are getting started on platform 2. Jocelyn, bar is loaded for her, coming out to 110 for her opening weight. She's in the Raw division. Now, in the Raw division, you are allowed to have knee sleeves, but it is optional. As Jocelyn shows, she has elected not to have knee sleeves, and it seems no problem for her as that opener moves very well. Now, on these opening attempts, we are not expecting major fireworks or major grinds. We are just expecting these lifters, hopefully, sometimes it does not happen that way, but we're just expecting these lifters to make an easy opening squat just to get on the board. As a reminder, you are going to need at least one completed lift in each discipline in order to post up a total. Abby on 1, setting up with 117.5. A little bit sticky out of the hole, but she fights her way through. Unfortunately on 1, that's going to be a no lift, 2 to 1. So if you're paying attention on the live stream, you've got lights that show up, right? And a light indicates what each referee thinks about the lift. White light indicating good lift, red light indicating no lift. And below those lights, you can see color cards. On platform 2, Hannah coming down with 112.5. That was a good lift, but yes, there's going to be color cards beneath those red lights, and they indicate what type of failure or what type of infraction that the judges saw in the lift. So a red card in squat is going to indicate that the lifter did not squat deep enough. And hitting depth is going to be indicated by your hip crease, your hip joint at the hip crease breaking parallel with the top surface of the knee. As Charlotte just demonstrated on 1, 3 white lights, that's a good lift. And if you are wanting to follow along with the scorecard of the event, you can go to liftingcast.com, search up 2024 High School National Championship, scroll down to the classes that are going today. Again, that's going to be the 69 classes and up, so 69, 76, 84, and 84 plus on the women's side. And you can kind of follow along to see who makes their lifts, who is potentially forecasted near the top. And Jade on platform 2, 115 for her opening attempt. Three white lights, that's a good lift. On 1, Madison sets up with 120 kilos for her opening attempt. Now in the equipped division, you're going to see these lifters have what we call knee wraps and also a squat suit. Those both are just equipment that helps these lifters lift more weight, essentially. That's the point of the equipped class. And it's going to be super restrictive, so a lot of times with these lifters, you're going to see them come down very, very slowly, fighting against that restrictiveness to find depth, and then pop out of the hole. On 1, unfortunately, that was a no lift again for Madison. Again, those red cards, that's probably going to be the most common infraction in the squat, where these lifters do not squat deep enough. On 2, Allison Turner, 120 for her opening weight. On 1, Abigail walking out to 122.5. And yep, on 2, Allison demonstrated that very, very slow descent. 2 to 1, it's a good lift. Abigail on 1 also demonstrates that very slow descent down. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. And in this session, we are mostly going to have equipped lifters. Like I said, we are bouncing forth between raw and equipped. But the majority of lifters, I believe, in this session are going to be equipped. Gabriela Escobar on platform 2, 125 for her opening weight. Look pretty solid. 3 white lights, that's a good lift. On 1, Ella Riley, 127.5. Looked like she hit good depth. Came out of the hole, 3 white lights, that's a good lift. And in powerlifting, we do everything in kilos. So on, for instance, platform 2, you're going to see 125, which is what Candace is going to take for her opening weight. If you're wanting to do the quick conversion, you can simply multiply the kilo weight by 2.2 to get the approximate pound conversion. So 125 is going to be approximately 275 pounds. Yeah, Candace looks like she sinks the weight. A little bit tough out of the hole, but not an all-out grind or anything. 3 white lights, good lift, nothing to worry about. On 1, they're having to adjust the rack for Juliet. These lifters, they are going to give a specific rack height. It would be a little bit difficult if everyone had to use the same rack height. They're going to give their personal rack height to the scoring table. That way, the spotters know exactly what to adjust the height to. Juliet 132.5 for opening weight, around about 292 pounds. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. Araceli on platform 2, 127.5. Araceli, if you're paying attention on lifting cast, you can click forecasted at the top. Araceli is forecasted well ahead in the class. Look pretty good. And it is 3 white lights. And these forecasted totals, they tell part of the story, but not the whole thing. Of course, there's a lot of lifting left to go. The forecasted is just going to take the lifts that are on lifting cast, including their openers and the weights they put in next. For Amaya on 1, that was a really solid opening squat. Amaya, talking about the forecasted, currently forecasted in 2nd place in the equipped 69 class. Right now, she's about 15 kilos behind Callie, but of course, there's a lot of lifting left to go in the day. And I mean, 15 kilo spread, one lifter starts to slip, they start to miss lifts, maybe only get their opener, and then that can become a super tight spread. Again, forecasted tells part of the story, but not the whole thing. Some lifters, they end up opening too heavy, only having to take small attempts or maybe only walk away with their opener. That's going to put a dampen on their total, or their forecasted total at least is going to be close to what it ends up at the end of the day if they only walk away with their openers or only have to take small jumps. But if you end up taking larger jumps, then your forecasted is going to grow throughout the day. On platform 1, that was a good lift from Crystal. Got 1 blue card, likely for soft knees. Unfortunately on 2, that's going to be a no lift for Christina. A little bit worrying. Like I said, these openers should be super easy, just getting on the board. So it's a little bit worrying when you see a lifter miss their opener like that. Now, she wasn't equipment, so it could have been some sort of technical error or something with the suit. Hopefully that's the case. Because like I said, you've got to make at least 1 lift in each discipline in order to register a total and be valid for vying for placing. On 1, Naomi, 142.5 for her opening attempt. And these are big opening attempts here. I mean, 142.5, that's 314 pounds. And these lifters are in high school nonetheless. Naomi currently forecasted 3rd place in the class. Oh, hits the sticking point out of the hole. Almost thought she lost it, but she fights through it. Oh man, unfortunately that's going to be a no lift for her. All 3 judges agreed that it was not deep enough. On 2, Taylor Durham, 150 for her opening attempt, 330 pounds. beautiful equipped squat. I mean, she sinks, 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 tries to find that depth, finds it, bounces back up.
I was wondering why the
Platform 1, Alana Bailey, 147.5 for opening attempt. Moves super, super easy for her. Oh, unfortunately, it was so easy, but she did not squat low enough. And that's never the plan. I mean, that's the thing with these national level meets. Some of these lifters might not used to be the standard of judging that is uphold here. And that can result in missed openers, changes in the game plan. On platform 2, Bailey Fields in the equipped 84 class, 155. Wow, moves super, super smooth. Currently projected in second in the 84 kilo equipped class. And on platform 1, Callie, 150 for her opening weight. Currently projected ahead in first place in the 69 kilo equipped class. But of course, she's gonna have to make her lifts throughout the day. She cannot slip up. Otherwise, lifters like Amaya, Naomi could potentially catch up to her. To the 1, that's a good lift for Callie, and she's on the board. On platform 2, Mackenzie Wells. Coming out of Germantown High School, and she is the big favorite to win in the 84 kilo equipped class. I mean, if you simply look at her opening squat, 200 kilos, that is 441 pounds for Mackenzie. She is in high school, and this is her opening weight. And on 1, we've got a big opener as well for Celeste. 182.5, 402 pounds. Now, Celeste competing as a guest lifter. Now, I believe she would have been slated well towards the top in the 69 kilo class, but she unfortunately missed weight, unfortunately missed that opener as well. Oh my gosh, and on 2, it's a fight for Mackenzie. Kind of has the face like, uh-oh, that was a little too heavy, but she's on the board, a big sigh of relief there. Especially when you hit an opener, it's very difficult. It's a big, big sigh of relief when you get that on the board. Yeah, Mackenzie pretty much just needs to make a lift in each discipline in order to wrap up that national title. On 1, Abby going to retake 117.5. She missed her opener based on not squatting deep enough. But I have to sink it just a little bit lower. And unfortunately, that's going to be no lift for Abby. Now, I did think she hit the required depth, but sometimes if you sink it a little more, you hit that depth that you perhaps are not used to in training. That can result in a failure on strength, like we saw there. Really facing a tough situation. Hopefully she can come back and hit it. On 2, Jocelyn fights it up with 117.5. 2 white lights, it's a good lift. On 1, we've got Madison Crane, also retaking her opening attempt at 120 kilos. Madison also missed her opening attempt on depth. See if she's able to sink it just a little bit more. I think that looked good. And yep, you see, as you sink it a little bit more, you hit that required depth, it's going to be a little bit tougher. 3 white lights, though. She is on the board. On platform 2, we are just sorting out a little mishap. The order of lifting within each attempt has to go by lightest to heaviest, right? So Mackenzie, of course, with her 205 kilo second attempt, she's not going to be anywhere near the top of the flight. She's going to be at the end. So there was just a little situation there where they had to sort out what proper weight to use. Abigail on 1 jumped 7.5 kilos to 130. Unfortunately for Abigail, that's going to be a no lift. On 2 for Hannah Johnson, 10 kilo jump to 122.5. To the 1, that's a good lift. On platform 1, Charlotte going to take 130 kilos. Oh man, has to put in a big fight, but isn't able to break through that staking point. No lift for her. On platform 2, Allison Turner walking out to a 5 kilo jump, 125. Really has that slow descent, trying to find the depth, fighting through that sticking point. She locks it out. 3 white lights, that's a good lift. On 1 for Ella Riley, that was also a good lift with 140 kilos. And on both platforms, we are going to have lifters repeat their openers. Naomi Lucas on 1 missed 142.5. Missed it on depth. All 3 referees agreed that it was not deep enough. On 2, Christina also missed her opening attempt, having to retake it. Got yellow cards on it. I believe it was just a miss on strength. So let's see if she can make the proper adjustments and hit this. Having to keep their composure here, trying to get on the board. Oh yeah, that looked good for Christina. 3 white lights, Christina's on the board. And on platform 1, 2 to 1, it's a good lift for Naomi. She is also on the board. Big sigh of relief when these lifters, that first squat is honestly the most nerve-wracking of the entire day. You're here, you traveled, a lot of these lifters, it might be their first national level championships. And it's a bit nerve-wracking, honestly, to walk out there trying to, you're worrying about depth, you're worrying about maybe some technical issues with the suit or the knee wraps. And it is even the more nerve-wracking when you end up missing that opener and are forced to retake it. You really have to keep your composure there. Oh. On platform 2, Araceli seemed to have just lost her balance, fell forward. Yeah, that was a bit tough. That is obviously going to be a no lift for her. Seemed to have just lost her balance. I think everyone's okay. On 1, that was a good lift for Juliet Brewer. On 2, Jade, 132.5. Took a relatively big jump there, or pretty big jump, 17.5, and she handled it pretty well. Should be good. Just a little bit of delay there. On 1, Crystal buries 147.5. Unfortunately, isn't able to come back out of the hole. No lift on 1, good lift on 2. On 2, Gabriela Esquivel taking a 10-kilo jump to 135. Oh yeah, building that strong momentum leading into that third attempt. Three right lats, it's a good lift on her second. Platform 1, Amaya Fobb. Big jump here, 12.5 kilos. She's in the hunt to try to take down Callie in the equipped 69-kilo class. And she moves that squat like an opener. 3 white lights for Amaya. That's the thing with these forecasted totals. Some lifters end up taking relatively light openers and then take big jumps, and then their forecasted total really grows throughout the day. Candace on 2, 135. Fights through it. Want to wait to see what the judges say. Unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift on depth. On 1, Alana Bailey, repeating 147.5. Lots of depth calls here. She also got a depth call on her opening attempt. Needs to sink it a little more to get on the board. Moves super easy, no problem on strength. See what they say. Unfortunately, that's going to be, again, a no lift on 1 for Alana. Needs to just sink it a little lower, and it's very, very difficult when you're in that restrictive suit, restrictive knee wraps. It's very, I mean, you could say, yeah, just sink it a little lower, but if you've never actually been in this equipment, it's very tough to find that depth. I mean, you're literally fighting against the suit and the wraps to get low enough. Hopefully she can come back and hit it on the third. She's really got her back against the wall there. Callie on 1. Big squats on both platforms. Callie taking 160, 352 pounds. On 2, Taylor Durham also taking 160. Taylor currently forecasted at third. Callie currently forecasted in second place, but it seems like it's going to be a good battle between her and Amaya, just based on how it's unfolding. Let's see how Callie handles this 10-kilo jump. Unfortunately, on 1, that's going to be a no lift for Callie based on depth. On 2, that's going to be a good lift for Taylor. And yeah, that really does put Callie in a tough situation because I imagine she is just going to repeat it. But when you're in one of these tough battles or tight battles, there is the, the temptation to go up anyways in weight because you're thinking, hey, I need to make up kilos. I need to do this. Well, not everyone is going to go 9 for 9, and that includes your competitors. I just saw lifting cast, and Callie has elected to just repeat the weight. I mean, she needs those 10 kilos. If you risk it by going up more, then you're leaving lots of kilos left on the table. And that can really, really put a dent in your total, which could cost you the championship at the end of the day. Celeste, platform 1, repeating 182.5. Missed this, just seemed like strength. All right, she fights through it. Fortunately for Celeste, that's going to be a no lift on depth. On 1, that's going to be a good lift for Bailey Fields. We are already on to third attempts on platform 1. Abby, really, really in a tough situation here. Needs this lift to stay in the meet. Whole crowd's going to get behind her. No one wants to see anyone else bomb out. It's really a tough situation when these lifters are facing that. Right, and I think it looked better from Abby. 3 white lights, and she is on the board. Really good job keeping her composure there. On platform 2, Mackenzie Wells, 205 for her second attempt. Huge squat, 451 pounds. First attempt moved a little difficult, that's why they only elected to jump 5. See what they say on the depth there. Unfortunately, that's going to be no lift for Mackenzie, 2-1. Now, I'm really glad that she did end up getting her opener, even though it was a bit of a grind, because, I mean, she is very much ahead in the class, in the 84 kilo class. I mean, she is very, very, very ahead. So pretty much as long as she makes one lift in each, discipline, she's likely going to walk away the champion. On 1, Abigail Reed taking her second attempt at 130. Missed this, I believe it was just a strength issue. See if she can get it on the 3rd. There we go, fights through it. That's the thing with these equipped lifters too. Sometimes they miss an attempt and you think there's no way they're gonna get that. Then they come back, maybe tighten up the knee wraps, tighten up the suit, make the proper technical adjustments, and they're able to come back and hit it. Charlotte's gonna be looking to take some inspiration there on 1, also repeating 130 kilos. On 2, Jocelyn, 122.5, looking to go 3 for 3 on the day. Charlotte fights through it. Needs to wait to see what the judges say. 2-1, no lift, unfortunately, for Charlotte. Just walks away with her opener. On 2, that was a good fight from Jocelyn. Solid 3rd attempt. 2-1, that's a good lift. Gets a yellow card. Now, the yellow card can be, honestly, a multitude of different things. That can include jumping a command, taking a step, or something of the sort. Bars loaded on 2 for Allison Turner. Going to take a 5 kilo jump to 130 kilos. Trying to go 3 for 3 on the day. And I mean, we see so many lifters miss their lifts. Going 3 for 3 would be very, very nice for her. Oh no, she knew it wasn't there. Shakes her head, asks the spotters to take it. Didn't even try to grind through it, just because if you know it's not there and you try to grind through that weight, then you're just really kind of wasting energy that you could use in the bench and deadlift. On 1, unfortunately, that was going to be a no lift for Madison. Just walks away with 120 kilos. Araceli on 2, your favorite in the raw 84 kilo division, retaking 132.5. Had that very difficult balance issue on her second attempt, fell forward. Seems to be better on her 3rd attempt, fights through the hole, doesn't lose her balance. Great job, 3 white lights. On 1, Crystal Hernandez, retaking 147.5, about 325 pounds. Got yellow cards on her second attempt. I believe she might have just missed it on strength. Yeah, I think I remember. And Crystal, if she makes at least 1 lift in each discipline, she is going to walk away your champion in the raw 69 kilo class. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just a little too much today. Does walk away with at least 1 squat in. On platform 2, Hannah Johnson, 10 kilo jumps across the board, 132.5 here. Look good on speed, need to wait to see on the depth. 3 white lights, it's a good lift for Hannah. 3 for 3 on the day. And on one, Alana Bailey. No issue on strength there with 147.5. Just needs to squat a little bit lower. Let's see Alana do it. Risking the unfortunate bomb out situation. Hopefully she can come back and hit this. It looks better than her first two. Gotta wait to see what the judges say. 3 white lights and Alana is on the board. Avoided bombing out. Way to keep her composure there. Because you cannot start to freak out if you miss your first 2 attempts. That is when you really need to maintain your composure. Say, hey, I've done this weight before. It's my opener. I can just sink it. I can get on the board. And that is exactly what Alana did there. On 2, unfortunately, that's going to be no lift for Candace. Just missed on strength. Walks away with her opener. On one, Juliet looking to go 3 for 3, 147.5. Currently projected in 5th place. Very well, that could become a top 3 position if she maintains making her lifts throughout the day, as I believe she did on that 3rd attempt. There it is, 3 white lights. Great job there. Platform 2, Jade, 140 kilos, 308 pounds. That looked like a really good call for her 3rd attempt. There it is, 3 white lights for Jade. 3 for 3. And I mean, making your attempts, really that is crucial at these national level meets. That is going to build the highest total possible. Even if you don't take your planned numbers for the day or something's feeling a little off, you've got to adjust the game plan. Make your lifts. Not everyone's going to make their lifts, but if you are making your lifts, especially your 3rd attempts, where you're gaining the most kilos towards your total, that's really going to make a difference at the end of the day when a lot of your competitors may be missing their lifts. On one, Naomi Lucas, 150 for her 3rd attempt. Now, I think the spotters might have grabbed it a little bit early there. I don't think the bar started to go down. If she thinks she could have had that, they could approach the jury and ask for a relift. That is up to them to, if they want to take that prerogative. On to Christina, stands up with 142.5. 3 white lights, that's a great lift for her, adding 12.5 kilos towards her total. On one, Ella Riley. Ella currently projected in 3rd place. Adds an invaluable 10 kilos to her total there. 3 white lights for Ella. Gabriela Esquivel, 145 on the bar for her. Again, trying to add 10 kilos to her total there. Looks like she sank it. Smiles at the top to see what the judges say. 3 white lights, it's a good lift for Gabriela. On one, Callie, in the battle of the 69 kilo equipped class, her versus Amaya. Missed this on her 2nd attempt. Strength was no problem. Did not squat low enough. Needs to sink it to add these invaluable 10 kilos towards her total. And like I said, making lifts is ever the more important, especially when you're in a tight battle like this. No issue on strength again. It's going to be on the border. 3 white lights, that's a good lift for Callie, adding those invaluable 10 kilos towards her total there. Taylor Durham on platform 2, 165. These are some big squats. I mean, this is 363 pounds that Taylor's got on her back as a high school lifter. On one, Amaya, who is Callie's direct competitor, now also taking 160. Her 2nd attempt flew. She took a big jump. Conserved energy for this attempt, but if she misses this, she's missing out on a lot of kilos. Wow, and it looked very easy for Amaya. What a squat event she had. 3 for 3. I mean, from her opener to her third attempt, that was a 25-kilo spread. And that's kind of what I was talking about in the beginning, where forecasted total tells part of the story, but some of these lifters might be taking big jumps like Amaya did. Forecasted total can really be a trap if you pay. There's something to pay attention to, but if you pay too much attention to it, get caught up in trying to chase other lifters, that's where you can be in trouble. Bailey, 177.5 for her final attempt. That is 391 pounds, getting dangerously close to 400, and she makes the lift to the 1. Currently forecasted second place in the equipped 84-kilo class. Now Celeste, platform 1, needs this lift to stay in the meet. Celeste, competing as a guest lifter, not going to be going for placing. What? Oh, that's fine. Looks like she sank it deep enough, at least from our perspective. See what she says. To the 1. It's a good lift for Celeste. She avoids the. Oh, I'm sorry. You can use that. I don't need it. No, I'm on that side. Really good job from Celeste avoiding that bomb out situation. Kept her composure. Got that huge squat at 182.5. And like I said, Celeste is competing as a guest lifter, and it's really a shame that she weighed in at 0.4 kilos over the 69-kilo class. She would have been the heavy favorite to win that class, but I'm glad she's still out here competing, even though she's not gonna. She could still post up a total, but not gonna be in contention for placing. Mackenzie Wells, platform 2, hits that huge 205-kilo squat. Mackenzie, like we said, well ahead in the 84-kilo class. Picks up those extra 5 kilos and goes 2 for 3 in the squat event. We are moving straight into flight B on both platforms. Sagan on platform 1, 112.5. It was very easy for her. 3 wide lats, it's a good lift. Noella on 2, walking out to her opener at 92.5 kilos. Three wide lats, that's a good lift. On platform 1 in flight B, we're going to stay in the 76-kilo class, but jump around between raw and equipped. On platform 2, similarly, we're going to stay in the 84-plus kilo class. We're going to jump back and forth between raw and equipped. Oh, unfortunately on 1, Caitlin, in the fight with 120 kilos, unfortunately stumbles a bit. That's me, no lift for her. She's all smiles as she walks to the back. It's no big deal. They're just gonna repeat that weight. And I like that call. Don't risk anything by going up. On 2, Lucy hits her opener with 105. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. On 1, Amelia, 127.5. That is a good lift for her. On 2, Samantha, 107.5. Oh, a bit of a fight for her opening attempt. Is able to lock it out. Should be a good lift. 3 white lights it is. And like I said, it is a little bit worrying when you see an opener move a bit slow like that. But it is all the more grateful when you get that opener on the board. Even if it's tough, you're on the board, you're not going to risk bombing out. On 1, Jasmine Harrison, 130 kilos for her opening attempt. Lots of support here. She is coming out of Germantown High School. Of course, she's going to get a lot of support from the crowd. Again, a little bit tough for an opener. Fights through the sticking point anyways. 3 white lights on 1. And on 2, that's going to be a good lift for Molly. And yeah, I imagine that on platform 1, Jasmine probably going to take relatively smaller jumps. Sometimes you hit your opener and you're like, whoa, that's way too hard. That's not what we were expecting. That's when you really have to adjust. Don't go to your planned second attempt if it's 12 and a half, 15 kilos up. Just take a relatively conservative jump. Try to build the total. Try to get the most that you can on the day. Olivia on 1, 132.5. Again, a little bit of a tough opener, not an all-out grinder for her. 3 white lights, that's a good lift. And sometimes with these tough openers, that could just be these lifters shaking off their nerves. They come back to the back, they tell their coach, hey, I was just a little nervous, I was shaky. I feel a lot better now. Maddie on 2, 112.5. And that's how an opener should move. On 2, good lift for Maddie. On 1, Hannah Williams, 135. Three white lights for Hannah. That's a good lift. On platform 2, Anika walking out with 120 for her opening attempt. Currently projected in second place in the class. 3 white lights, good lift. Catherine on 1. Currently projected first in the class. Gonna be well ahead as long as she makes her lifts. Probably gonna lock up that championship. And yep, that opener moved very well for her. I expect her to take healthy jumps from there. Oh, unfortunately, I was wrong. That was a no lift, 2-1 on depth. Probably expect her to repeat that, given that she is ahead in the class. When you're forecasted, I mean, of course, the forecasted doesn't tell the whole story, but when you kind of know that as long as you make your lifts, you're going to walk away the championship, you're not going to want to risk too much by hitting your opener, and if you miss it, going up a big jump anyways, and then you miss it on strength potentially, you're going to want to play it very safe when you're forecasted well ahead. On 1, Bailey Donovan, 140 kilos. Could be in a bit of a battle here. Oh, man. Hits the sticking point, fights through it. Fast out of the hole, but she hit that wall relatively fast. 3 white lights for her, though. She's on the board. And Bailey in a bit of a battle here in the equipped 76 kilo class. Speaking of battles, Kylie on 2, putting in a battle with her opening weight at 137.5. 3 white lights. It's a good lift for Kylie nonetheless. And like I said, I am a bit worried watching when I see these openers that are relatively more difficult, but then I'm very relieved when they get on the board. Because as long as you get your opener, even if you didn't have the squat day you want, you can tell yourself, hey, I'm still able to register a total. It's not the end. On 1, Elizabeth, 147.5 for her opening attempt. 325 pounds. Oh yeah, that moved like an opener should. So easy. Oh, moved easy, but unfortunately did not squat low enough. I'm interested to see where she goes from there, because that's a situation where you could go up just given how easy that opener was. And in contrast, on 2, Taylor, 150 kilos, had to put in a bit of work for that opening attempt. But she gets it anyways, 3 white lights. On 1, Kaylee getting set up with 150 kilos. Kaylee currently projected in 3rd place, but she is kind of in the hunt. This class is a little bit deep. I mean, there's lifters like Vanessa, Bailey, Kaylee, and Natalie, all kind of in contention for that top spot. Kaylee starts off strong with 150 kilos, 3 white lights. On to Jenna Austin, 160 kilos for her opening attempt. That's 353 pounds there. Natalie on 1, 155 kilos for her opening attempt. Again, Natalie, kind of one of these lifters, based off forecasted total, could be in the hunt for the title at the end of the day. It's going to be a dogfight. Making your lifts is really going to matter here. Unfortunately for Natalie, I held my breath. It was super easy, but it's going to be no lift based on not squatting low enough. Kaylee Mann has got that USA singlet on, indicating that she has been on the international stage. Kaylee Mann is the reigning NAPF sub-junior champion. Hits an easy opener at 165. 3 white lights for her. Kaylee forecasted first in the 84+ kilo raw division. And I mean, for Kaylee, it seems like if she continues to make her lifts, she should walk away the champion. Not really a big fight there, at least based off forecasted total, but of course, lots of lifting left to go at the end of the day. Vanessa on 1, 170 kilos for opening attempt. 374 pounds. See how she handles this. Slow descent down, see what they say on the depth. To the 1, it's a good lift. And again, Vanessa, one of those lifters in the hunt for the title. Saraya on platform 2, 165 for her opening attempt. Currently projected in 3rd place in the 84+ equipped division. Oh yeah, it looks like she sunk that. Might have lost her balance a little bit, making the ascent a little tough, or she hit that sticky point, but was able to fight through it. Not all out grind, just a little bit sticky. On 1, Caitlin, we are back on 2nd attempt. She missed her opening attempt. Retaking, trying to hit it. Looks like she hit the proper depth there. 3 white lights and she's on the board. I believe on her opener, she actually just took a little bit of a stumble. So really good to see her get that on her 2nd. Michaela on 2, 170 kilos for her opening attempt. Forecasted in 2nd place right now. Yeah, looked really good for her opener. She could take healthy jumps from there, grow that forecasted total. 3 white lights. On 1, Sagan, 10 kilo jump, 122.5. Handled it very well. 3 white lights for Sagan, good lift. Kaylin on 2, getting set up with her opening attempt at 170 kilos. Forecasted in 4th, but she potentially could catch up to Saraya. Folks, that is 374 pounds that Kaylin just moved. 3 white lights, that's a good lift. Jasmine on 1, 135 kilos for her 2nd attempt. Oh man, hits the sticking point, fights through it. Wait to see what the judges say on that. Unfortunately, all judges agree that it's going to be a no lift. Gets blue cards. Blue cards indicate that there was either up and down motion in the squat or the lockout was soft. Soft knees, soft hips. But I imagine there that when she hit that sinking point, the bar in its entirety went down. And on platform 2, Dage Love, 217.5 for her opening attempt. Forecasted pretty well ahead in the equipped 84 kilo class. And it's no surprise there. I mean, look at her squat opener. And she's got a high bar too. High bar means that she rests the bar on her traps, whereas most lifters rest the bar lower on the rear delts. Wow, and she blew up that opening attempt. That is 480 pounds from a high school lifter. 3 white lights for her. That's a good lift. Really excited to see where she goes from there. On one, that is a good lift for Catherine with 140 kilos, and she gets on the board. On one, Amelia walking out with 140 kilos. Looks pretty solid. That's kind of what you expect from a second attempt. It's, of course, harder than your opener. You're going up in weight. Gives you some sort of indication of where to go on your third. Platform 2, Noella, 97.5 for her opening attempt. Looks like she hit that proper depth, having to fight out of the hole. And that's a good lift. 3 white lights. Olivia on one, 140 kilos. Having to put in a bit of work there on her second attempt. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. Platform 2, Samantha, taking just the minimum jump you can. The minimum jump, if it's not a record, that you can take is 2.5 kilos. So that's what Samantha is doing here, 110 kilos for her second attempt. I think that was the proper call. See what the judges say. Unfortunately, it's going to be no lift. 2-1. Gets those red cards based on depth. Platform 1, Hannah Williams, 142.5. Has that super wide stance, a little bit more common in equipped lifting. Fights through the sticking point. 3 white lights, it's a good lift for Hannah. Molly on 2, 117.5. To the 1, that's a good lift for Molly. On platform 1, Bailey, unfortunately, she also just takes the minimum jump, but it is going to be no lift for her. Still has her opener on the board. They could have that conversation if she wants to. Just scratch the third. Don't waste energy for the extra 2.5. Or, I mean, if you're at the high school nationals, why not just try? They're going to have that conversation in the back. Lucy on 2. Relatively large, 15 kilo jump, 120 for a second attempt. To the 1, that's a good lift for Lucy. On platform 1, Elizabeth, really getting support from the crowd there as she missed her opening attempt, having to repeat that here. Missed her opener based on depth, just needs to sink it a little bit lower. Wow, yeah, strength, clearly no issue there. 3 white lights, it's a good lift for Elizabeth. On 2, Maddie walking out to 120 kilos for her second attempt. On 1, Natalie missed her opening attempt, and I believe I remember it was super easy, but she perhaps missed it on depth. Yep, she did. So they opted to take a 7.5 kilo jump anyways. Natalie currently, I mean, she very well is in the hunt for the title. So I think that is why they decided to take this jump. Let's see how she handles it. On 2, that's a good lift. Wow, okay, I think that was deep enough, and clearly strength was no issue. 3 white lights, Natalie's on the board, picks up those extra 7.5 kilos that she could have missed by repeating her opener. It's always risky when you go up after missing a lift, but in this case, it pays off. Platform 2, Anika, 127.5. Has to put in a bit of work, but she fights through. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. On to Kaylee Robin, 162.5 here. Handled that jump fairly well. And Kaylee, I sound like a broken record, but she is another one of those lifters in the hunt for the equipped 76 title. And unfortunately for Kaylee, that is going to be a no lift for her. Now they really are going to have that tough conversation of whether she's going to repeat that way or go up anyways, given how easy it was. It's really a tough conversation to have. For me, I would probably just repeat it because she did jump that 12.5 kilos to that weight, and she is missing out on a lot of kilos if she decides to go up and she ends up missing that weight on strength. And on 1, Vanessa, 177.5. Again, another one of these lifters really in the hunt for the title. 3 white lights, it's a good lift for Vanessa. She could cross over that 400-pound mark on her 3rd attempt. That was 391 pounds. On 2, Kylie fights it up with 140 kilos. To the 1, it's a good lift for Kylie. On platform 1, Sagan Marks, we are into 3rd attempts as she is going to take 130 kilos for her final attempt, trying to go 3 for 3. On platform 2, Taylor Hathaway, 160 kilos for her 2nd attempt. Oh yeah, that was a really good call for Sagan on 1. To the 1, that's a good lift. She goes 3 for 3 on squats. Big celebration. I would be super excited too to go 3 for 3. Taylor on 2. Stands up with 160, and that is a good lift. 3 white lights. On 1, Caitlin Mai, 130 kilos. Has that slow descent, finds depth, stands up with it, 3 white lights. Really good comeback after missing her opener on that stumble there. On platform 2, Jenna Austin, 165. Oh, has to put in some work for 165, but she stands up with it. 3 white lights for Jenna, good lift. On platform 1, Jasmine Harrison, 135 for her final attempt. Missed this on her 2nd attempt, and it was blue card, so I believe she actually hit the sticking hole, the sticking point, and then kind of went up and down with the bar. So she has the strength to fight through, and she does. See what the judges say. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. Kaylee Mann, our favorite in the raw 84+ kilo division, coming out very composed. She's got that international experience from competing at NAPF's 175 kilos for her 2nd attempt.
Second one was better than the first one.
Looks solid. 3 white lights for Kaylee. I'd probably take not a 10-kilo jump from there like she did from her first to second, but maybe a 5-kilo jump, which is kind of what you see, a bigger jump from the first to second compared to the second to third. Unfortunately for Bailey on 1, that is going to be a no lift once again. Now, as a coach, I would say you've got to put the squats behind you. I know it didn't go as you wanted, but at least you've got in 1 lift. You're not going to risk bombing out. Let's move on to the bench and deadlifts. Try to go 3 for 3 in bench. Try to go 3 for 3 in deadlifts. Turn the day around. On platform 2, Zahira, 180 kilos. Took a big jump here. She's projected in 3rd place in the 84-plus kilo division with such a big squat. I mean, that just shows how competitive this class is. Really sinks it there. That was a solid-looking squat. Looks like no question on depth. 3 white lights. That's a good lift. On platform 1, Amelia, 147.5, trying to go 3 for 3. She's in the raw division, 325 pounds. Looked like a good call. And it is 3 white lights. Kaylin on 2, 182.5 for her second attempt. Currently projected in 4th place, but if Zahira starts to kind of slip up, then she could end up on the podium. But Kaylin's got to make her lifts as well. Let's see on her second attempt. To the 1, it's a good lift for Kaylin. Gets 1 red card based on depth. Platform 1, Hannah Williams, 147.5 on her final squat attempt. To the 1, that's a good lift for Hannah. She goes 3 for 3. And that feels really good. I mean, when you go 3 for 3, pretty much leave all you can on the table in terms of kilos that you have on the day. It feels good. On platform 2, Michaela, 185 kilos. Projected in 2nd place right now. Yeah, and that looked good. Looked like a solid second attempt. Should be a good lift. I think she sunk it there. I have been wrong before. 3 white lights is a good lift. Olivia on 1. Unfortunately, that's going to be just a little too much on the day. Walks away 2 for 3. On 1, Catherine, 150 kilos. Missed her opening attempt, just jumped up 2.5 kilos, trying to make up a bit of ground there. Is on the board, now taking a 10-kilo jump. Catherine projected well ahead in this 76-kilo class. Just needs to keep her composure throughout the day to walk away the champion. Similar story on 2, Dage Love. Big jump here. I mean, this is a 27.5-kilo jump, and she made her opener fly, so I'm really excited to see this squat. This is 540 pounds from the high schooler, and she makes it move with ease. Dage Love, what a squat. Where is she going to go on her 3rd attempt? I mean, clearly she is forecasted well ahead in the equipped 84-plus kilo class. I'm just excited to see that 3rd squat. I mean, that big jump, 27.5 kilos, that barely slowed her down. On 1, Elizabeth, taking a 10-kilo jump to her final attempt at 157.5. Looked pretty easy for Elizabeth's 3rd attempt. 3 white lights. Noella on 2, 105 kilos. Her second attempt was a bit sticky. I want to see how she handles this 7.5-kilo jump. Wow, handles it well. Sinks into the hole, fights through that sticking point. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. Kaylee on 1, retaking 162.5. Now, Kaylee, like we mentioned, is in that battle for the top spot in the 76 kilo equipped class. Missed her second attempt. It was a depth call. If I remember correctly, it moves super easy. Just needs to squat a little bit lower. Or maybe it didn't move. Yeah, let's see it. Yeah, strength, clearly no problem there. See what the judges say. To the 1, she adds 12.5 kilos to her total there. Really catches up to the other lifters, stays in the hunt for the title. Pivotal third squat there. Samantha on 2. Good lift with 112.5. Missed her second attempt, but added 2.5 kilos anyways. Was able to come back, hit it on her third. On 1, Natalie, also in the equipped 76 kilo battle, trying to add 10 kilos to her total here. Missed her opener on depth, decided to go up anyways. It paid off. Trying to add these invaluable 10 kilos, staying in the hunt for the title. Wow. See what the judges say. Look good to me. 3 white lights, and she adds those extra 10 kilos, putting her at forecasted second place, just 2.5 ahead of Kaylee. Lucy on 2, 125. To the 1, that's a good lift. Molly on 2, walking out with 125 for her third and final attempt. Vanessa on 1, 187. To the 1 on 2, that's a good lift. Vanessa on 1, forecasted first in the 76 kilo battle. Oh man, and she fights through that sticking point. I almost thought she lost it there. Huge squat, 413 pounds. 3 white lights for Vanessa, and again, I keep saying that these are pivotal attempts, but that was a really pivotal attempt that added 10 kilos to Vanessa's forecasted total. Currently forecasted first in the class. If she continues to make lifts, continues to execute, she could walk away your national champion. But that is going to be it on platform 1 for our coverage of the squat event on day 3, session 1 of Powerlifting America High School Nationals. Do not go anywhere. We are going to be back after a short 10-minute break, getting back into the action in the bench press. We will see you then. Welcome back on platform 1. Back to the action. We are going to get started in just a couple of seconds with the bench press. This is Powerlifting America High School Nationals, the final day, day 3, session 1. In this session, we are going to have our all varsity female lifters in the 69, 76, 84, and 84 plus kilo division. On platform 1, Ella Riley is going to get us started with 52.5 kilos for her opening attempt. Bar is loaded for Ella. She should be coming out, just having to rush a tiny bit, but she has time. Each lifter is allotted, she has time, but she might have to hurry a little bit. Each lifter is allotted 1 minute to get their lift started. So in the squat, that would indicate that they have 1 minute to get that first command, the squat command. In the bench press, as Ella is going to demonstrate, she has that full minute to get the start command. And she's got 23 seconds to get that start command. Has to hurry a little bit, but hopefully she should be good. Gets that start command in time with 7 seconds left. Oh yeah. Some lifters you see where they have to kind of hurry, and that kind of takes a toll on them mentally. They kind of get shaken up. For Ella, that looked like a good lift. A little bit of technical issues, and she moved that very easy. 3 white lights, that's a good lift. Abby getting set up with 55 kilos for her opening attempt. Super easy opener there for Abby. That is a good lift, 3 white lights. Charlotte getting set up with 60 kilos for her opening attempt. Got those long, long arms. Gonna help her out in the deadlift, but in the bench, you prefer having the short arms. Yeah, I got that super long range of motion there, but it doesn't slow her down too much. 60 kilos is a good lift for her. Naomi Lucas, 65 kilos for her opening attempt. We are in the equipped 69 kilo class. Naomi currently forecasted in 4th place, but she could sneak her way onto the podium, just depending how the rest of the day goes. A little bit tough for an opener, having to put in a bit of work to lock it out. Unfortunately, that's a no lift for Naomi. Gets those blue cards. they likely thought that there was downward motion. If I were her coach, I mean, it is her opener, but it was a bit tough. I would definitely try to have that conversation with the jury, especially since, to my eyes, it was kind of close, and she did get one white light. So you have that right to go to the jury and say, hey, I think that was a good lift. Is there any way we could get that overturned? Especially since it was a tough opener, I wouldn't risk trying to not go to the jury and then just repeating it. I mean, of course she's going to repeat it, but it was tough, so it's going to be difficult for her. Crystal Hernandez, 70 kilos for her opening attempt. Gets that quick press command. Flies up with the weight. 3 white lights for Crystal. Starting off well. Didn't have the best squat event. She only went 1 for 3 with her opening attempt. So what I say when lifters don't have the best event, either in the squat or bench, let's move on. Let's try to go 3 for 3 in the other events. Abigail, 70 kilos, stays on the bar for her opening attempt. A little bit shaky on the chest there for Abigail, having to fight through to the sticking point. Let's see what the judges say. Unfortunately, no lift. She gets a blue card, probably for up and down motion, and then a yellow card. Yellow card on the bench press can be a lot of different things. It could be jumping commands. It could be lifting your butt or your foot off of the surface. Your feet have got to stay flat on the floor. You've got to keep contact with your butt and the bench. And you also have to keep your head on the bench. So they're probably going to repeat that, try to get on the board on her second attempt. Smooth opener for Alana, 3 white lights. You often see with these equipped lifters, kind of similar to the squats, where they're literally fighting against the restrictiveness of that bench shirt. And it hurts. If you've never tried it, it really hurts. You're fighting against the bench shirt, almost doing a row to get that bar down to your chest. So you often see that very, very slow descent. They find the touch point on their chest, get the press command, and then use the extra help of the suit, or of the shirt, to drive off their chest, and then it slows down at lockout. Yep, and you see that demonstrated there by Juliet, where it's very fast off the chest, but then slows towards lockout. 3 white lights. And on platform 2, welcome back to the 2024 Powerlifting America High School Nationals. This is the final day, day 3, session 1. In this session, we are going to have the all varsity female lifters in the 69, 76, 84, and 84 plus kilo weight class. We're going to jump back into the action in just a minute. The next event is going to be the bench press. Jocelyn's going to get us started with 45 kilos. And on platform 1, we are already well into the action with Madison Crane getting set up with 72.5 for her opening attempt. Again, one of our lifters who unfortunately only got their second attempt, but she had to repeat her opener. So only got her opener on squats, trying to turn that around, go 3 for 3 in the bench. Very easy attempt. Unfortunately, I held my breath there because she got one yellow card, okay? That could be a multitude of different things. But then she got a red card from the center referee. And let's talk about that red card. That red card is going to indicate either hovering on the chest, so you didn't actually touch the bar to your chest, or bench depth, elbow depth, which is relatively very recent rule. So the rule on that is that your elbow has got to at least be parallel with the center joint of the shoulder. So there you see that Madison had that very wide grip, high arch, had that short range of motion, but the range of motion doesn't really matter. They're just looking for that elbow depth. So that is why that center referee gave that red card failure. And it was on that border. That's why I kind of held my breath. It didn't look egregiously high, but she might have to sink it a little more on her second. She did only get that one red card, so we'll see what happens. On two, that was a good lift for Jocelyn, starting off strong. On one, Callie projected in second place in the hunt for the title, 80 kilos for her opening attempt. Slow descent. Oh, and that's, unfortunately, even if she locks it out, that's going to be a no lift based on up and down motion. Yep, 3 red lights, blue cards indicating no lift based on up and down motion. If I were her, I would definitely just repeat that. I mean, it looked a bit difficult. It could have been some sort of issue with the shirt. I mean, she's literally fighting so hard to take it down. I would definitely just repeat that. You've got to, you're not going to want to go up and risk bombing out, especially when you're in a tight battle like this. And Amaya Fobb, her direct competitor, coming out right after with 85 kilos for her opening attempt. Now, when you're a competitor and you see your, when you're a lifter, you see your competitor missing lifts, honestly, that gives you all the more motivation to make your lifts, kind of show that you're building that positive momentum. Perhaps they are not building as much momentum, and momentum is a real thing. I mean, mentally, when you're making all of your lifts, it feels really good. You really instill that confidence in yourself throughout the day. On two, that looked like a good lift from Jade with 55 kilos, and it was. Yeah, and Amaya, I mean, if you're comparing the lifts, comparing the speeds, Amaya's opener moves super fast. Kind of stumbles off the platform there, but I think she's okay. And I mean, even with Amaya's squat attempt, her third attempt, she took big jumps, but her third attempt did not look that hard. She's clearly conserved a lot of energy, has a lot of energy to use throughout the day. Hannah on the two, 57.5 for her opening attempt. Sticks with the weight. 3 weight lights, it's a good lift. Celeste on one, avoided disaster on the squats, was able to scrap together her third attempt squat to stay in the meet. Now she is a guest lifter, not going to be competing for placing, but she is going to be able to post up a total. Unfortunately, similar situation that she faces on two. Misses 102.5. Seemingly on strength, perhaps could have been some sort of technique issue with the shirt. Hopefully she comes back and get it on her second. I imagine they're just going to repeat that. And that really just shows the importance of having an opener that you know you can hit any day of the week. You're just trying to get on the board. It's not about where you start, it's where you end off. On two, Allison Turner, 60 kilos. 2 to 1, that's a good lift. Platform 1, Abby getting set up with 57.5. That is a good lift on one for Abby. On two, Gabriella opening up with 62.5, about 138 pounds. Moves it very, very easily. 3 white lights, that's a good lift. Ella on 1. We are already back on second attempts. Ella walking out with 62.5 kilos, taking a 10-kilo jump. Big jump in the bench press, especially at this weight. She handled it well. I was a bit worried coming down because it looks like it was coming down a bit unevenly. That is completely okay. She gets that lift, 2-1. Araceli on platform 2, 65 kilos for her opening attempt. 3 white lights. Araceli forecasted well ahead in the 84 kilo raw division. Naomi on 1, being forced to retake her opener at 65 kilos. I believe she got her opener up, but had some up and down motion. Let's see if she can correct that here. Candace on 2, looks like a good lift. It is 2-1 on 2. On 1, locks it out, looks better, 3 white lights, and she's on the board. Always a bit scary when your opener is a little bit tough, not super easy, and you're having to repeat that on your second attempt. Charlotte coming down with 67.5 on 1. Unfortunately, it just looks like it's a bit too heavy. Probably going to repeat that on her third attempt. Platform 2, Taylor Durham, 80 kilos on the bar for her. Moves it relatively well. Not super, super fast, but still relatively well. 2-1, that's a good lift. Abigail on 1, missed her opening attempt. If you remember, she got a yellow card and a blue card. So I don't exactly remember what happened there. Hopefully she can get on the board with this second attempt. On platform 2, Mackenzie Wells had that huge squat, getting set up with 87.5. Oh yeah, that looks better from Abigail on 1. And it is, she's on the board, 3 white lights. Big sigh of relief there. Mackenzie on 2, 87.5. Yep, moved pretty well. Moved like an opener should. 2-1, that's a good lift. And if I remember, she actually had 90 kilos initially for her opening attempt bench. Now you can make 1 change on that opener. And I think that's a good call to just lower the opener, get on the board, especially since she is forecasted so far ahead in the class. You don't want to risk you don't want to risk anything by potentially bombing out. Just get on the board and then you can have fun from there. On 1, Madison Crane. Now this is our lifter who had that depth call, elbow depth call from the chief referee on the side, got a yellow card. Gonna have to repeat this. Hopefully can get this on her second attempt. On to Bailey Fields, 90 kilos. That elbow depth looks a lot better. Three white lights, that's a good lift for Madison. She's on the board. On platform 2, Bailey Fields fights it up with 90 kilos, 198 pounds. 2-1, it's a good lift, gets 1 blue card, likely for soft lockout or potentially up and down motion. But that's a big opening bench press, 90 kilos for her. On 1, Crystal taking her second attempt with 75 kilos. On 2, we're back to the top of the order with second attempts. Jocelyn, 50 kilos. On 2, that's a good lift. On 1, it looks like a good lift. 3 white lights. On 1, Alana Bailey coming out to 75 kilos. Avoided the disastrous bomb out situation in her squats. Was able to get her 3rd squat. Trying to go 3 for 3 in the bench. 75 kilos for her. On platform 2, Allison Turner taking the minimum jump of 2.5 kilos to her 2nd attempt at 62.5. Slow descent for Alana on 1. Allison fighting up with the weight, trying to lock it out. 3 whites on 2 and 3 whites on platform 1. On 2, Jade coming down with 62.5. Makes easy work with it on her 2nd attempt. On 1, Juliet, 80 kilos. Oh, took a big 10-kilo jump. And I don't think it's going to work out for her. That's going to be up and down motion, even though she locked it out. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. She has the strength for it. I think maybe just had a slip up there. Probably going to repeat that for her 3rd attempt. On 1, the battle continues. Callie missed her opening attempt with 80 kilos, decided to go up anyways. Perhaps a bit of pressure from that battle with Amaya, trying to make up some ground. Not on the board yet, needs this lift. Her opening attempt, I think she just had up and down motion on it. It was a bit difficult. See how she handles this. On to Hannah Johnson coming down with 65 kilos for her 2nd attempt. Three white lights for Hannah. Callie fights up with the weight. See what the judges say there. 3 white lights and she's on the board. And yeah, that was honestly pretty dicey to go up and wait anyways. It looked a bit difficult. I almost worried that there was up and down motion again, but she stays in the fight, is on the board. Christina on 2, 65 kilos. Big jump here, 12.5. And sometimes you see that with these equipped lifters just because you have to be so technically sound. Sometimes you see them take a relatively light opener. That's a big fight there. Oh, that's not going to go for Christina. Sometimes you see these equipped lifters take a very light opener and then take big jumps from there just to secure their total on the board. On 1, Amaya. 90 kilos, 198 pounds for her 2nd attempt. Slow takedown. Wow, but very fast on the way up. Maya having a great day thus far. 3 white lights for her. On 2, Araceli. 67.5 just looks like a little bit too much. I'm glad she got her opener. If I remember, her opener was a bit sticky too. I'm glad she got that opener because honestly, she's forecasted well ahead. As long as she gets a lift in each discipline, she should walk away the national champion. But if she starts to really slip up, then Jocelyn can come in there and take that from her. Celeste on platform 1, repeating 102.5. Huge, huge bench here. Maybe a little bit too big, maybe a little bit too big for an opener. Let's see how she handles this. This is 225 pounds for a high schooler. On platform 2, Gabriella, 70 kilos for her 2nd attempt. Moves that very well for Gabriella. 3 white lights. On 1, let's see Celeste get on the board here. Yeah, she looked a lot more controlled on the way down. Slow and steady on the way up. Should be good. To the 1, it's a good lift. She is on the board. Big sigh of relief there, especially since the opener was a bit sticky and even that second attempt was a bit hard. Big sigh of relief to get on the board. Okay, this on platform 2, 10 kilo jump to 77.5. Oh, fights through with it. To the 1, that's a good lift. That's kind of the risk you take by taking those bigger jumps, especially on bench press where the wall can come very quickly in the bench. Even if you, I mean, I've seen lifters hit an easy attempt, go up 5 kilos, and it doesn't even come off the chest. So she gets that up, and I'm glad she does, given that it was a bit of work. Platform 1, Abby, 62.5 kilos for her final attempt. And it's a lot of work for Abby, but she fights through with it. To the 1, it's a good lift, 3 for 3 in the bench press. Taylor on platform 2, currently sitting in forecasted 3rd place in the equipped 84 kilo class. Gets the rack command. I want to wait to see what the judges say. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. I was a little bit worried about her lockout there at the end, but I'm not in the referee chair and they say it's a good lift. Charlotte on 1, hit her opener, jumped 7.5 kilos, missed that, trying to retake this. Mackenzie Wells on 2. Leading the group in the 84 kilo equipped class, trying to add 5 kilos to her total here. Charlotte, not gonna go for her. Just walks away with her opener. Mackenzie with the slow descent, trying to maintain as much control as possible. And that looked good. 3 white lights, it's a good lift for Mackenzie. Ella on the 1, taking her final attempt with 67.5. Ella currently forecasted in 3rd place, but has got lifters on her tail like Juliet, Alana, and even Naomi. Ella's gonna have to execute to keep that spot, and she does on her final bench press. To the 1, it's a good lift. On 2, Bailey, currently forecasted in 2nd place in the class, trying to add 7.5 kilos here. 97.5, 215 pounds. Fights through, locks it out. 3 white lights, it's a good lift for Bailey. On 1, Naomi Lucas had to repeat her opener, got on the board, now jumping 5 kilos to 70. Sticks with it. Should be a good lift, and it is. 3 white lights. Good turnaround from missing her opener to get her to go 2 for 3, giving her final bench press. On platform 2, we are back to the top of the order, rolling into 3rd attempts for flight A. 55 kilos on the bar for Jocelyn. Elbows flare for Jocelyn trying to get it up. Unfortunately, it's just going to be a little too much today. On one, Abigail, 75 kilos. Again, another lifter forced to retake her opener. Now is on the board, jumped 5 kilos. Three white lights, it's a good lift. Allison on 2, getting set up with her final bench press at 65 kilos. Just going to be a little too much for Allison. Only took the 2.5 kilo jump, so she put all she could on the platform today with her second bench press at 62.5. Madison Crane avoided disaster, was able to retake her opener and get it, now jumping 5 kilos to 77.5. Elbow depth looks a lot better. Fights up with it. Not sure if there was up and down motion. Let's see what the judges say. Yeah, both side referees called that blue cards on up and down motion, unfortunately. Now, fortunately enough, she is on the board, and by missing that attempt, only left 5 kilos on the table. So not too big of a loss there. On 2, unfortunately, that was a no lift for Christina. Araceli on 2. Forecasted well ahead in the 84 kilo class. Just trying to add some kilos to her total here. On 1, Crystal Hernandez, 80 kilos on her final attempt. Oh, and Araceli fighting through 65. She's not going to be able to lock it out. Walks away with her opener. Crystal on 1, 3 white lights, goes 3 for 3 in the bench press. Really good turnaround from only getting her opener squat, ending up 3 for 3 in the bench press. Alana looking to take some inspiration as she also only went 1 for 3 in the squat, trying to go 3 for 3 in the bench, building back that positive momentum. Alana with the slow takedown. Fights up with it. 3 white lights and 3 for 3 for Alana. Way to turn around from the squad event. And on 1, Juliet missed her opening attempt with 80 kilos. Or not her opening attempt, excuse me. She missed her second attempt with 80 kilos. Got it up, but got blue cards. I believe that was up and down motion, having to repeat that here. And again, that's kind of the risk you take with those big jumps. Yes, you are conserving energy, but especially in the bench press, taking a 10 kilo jump is a bit risky just because the wall comes on so fast. Oh, and that looks solid. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. And on 2, unfortunately, that was going to be a no lift for Hannah Johnson. On 1, Callie missed her opening attempt, went up 2.5 kilos, trying to make up a bit of ground since she is in that battle. Now trying to add 5 kilos to her total. Currently, she is projected second with a 382.5 kilo total. Amaya projected first with a 390 kilo total. likely going to come down to those last deadlifts. On 2, Gabriella adds 10 kilos. 3 white lights, going 3 for 3. Wow, and Callie fights up with the weight. That was a really good call. See what the judges say. 2 to 1, it's a good lift for Callie, adds those invaluable 5 kilos. Kind of similar story to her squat, where if she didn't make that third squat, she would really fall far behind. Now, bench press, it was only a 5 kilo jump, so she could make up from that. But, I mean, bench press, it's not replacing, it's either sided, but it's where you add those invaluable 5 kilos like Callie did there. Candace on 2, big fight, not gonna go. She's gonna walk away 2 for 3. On 1, Callie's direct competitor in the 69 kilo class. Also jumping 5 kilos. Oh, wow. Maya hits that sticking point, fights through it. That is going to be a good lift. Amaya adds those 5 kilos to her total there. On 1, Celeste missed her opening attempt, was able to get it on her second, jumping 5 kilos to 107.5. This is about 236 pounds. Huge bench press here. She's lifting as a guest lifter, but was supposed to lift as a 69 kilo lifter. Mackenzie on 2, 5 kilo jump to 97.5, 215 pounds. Big favorite in the 84 kilo class. Wow, really good call there. She fights through with 97.5. 3 white lights, it's a good lift for Mackenzie. On 1, Celeste also fights through her third attempt. See what the judges say there. Wow, 2 to 1, it's a good lift for Celeste. And on 1, we are going to move straight into flight B. Olivia is going to start us off at 52.5. But first, Bailey Fields on 2, taking a 7.5 kilo jump to 105. This is about 231 pounds for a high school lifter. Bailey currently projected 2nd place in the class, trying to add these 7.5 kilos. Relatively a big bench jump, and she handles it well, fights through it. 3 white lights, it's a good lift for Bailey. And Bailey really having a great day so far, hasn't missed a lift. Gonna try to continue that into the deadlifts. On 1, Olivia hits her opener with 52.5. On 1, we are moving straight into flight B. Noella opens up with a beautiful 47.5 kilo opener. Caitlin on 1, 60 kilos for her opening attempt. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. On one, Amelia getting set up with her opener at 65 kilos, about 143 pounds. Amelia gets her opening attempt, 3 white lights there. A little bit of a mishap on platform 2, just dealing with some technical issues with lifting casts, making sure the order is correct, as the bar always does have to be in a rising order based on weight within each attempt. Yeah, they're really trying to sort that out there on platform 2. I mean, on lifting cast, it shows that Kylie already went. Okay, I think they got it sorted. Noella was the one who took her opener. Now Kylie is going to go. Sagan on platform 1, 67.5. Got that super close grip. Going to be using more triceps there. Oh, man, and it's a fight for her opening attempt. Not sure if that's going to go. Okay, 2-1. Big sigh of relief there. She gets a blue and a yellow card from the chief referee. Blue card, I believe that was for up and down motion. Really glad she got that, given that it was a bit of a fight. And not going to risk bombing out now. Kylie on 2. We got that situation sorted out, and now she took her opener with 52.5. That's a good lift. Natalie on 1, 70 kilos for her opening attempt, about 155 pounds. Natalie currently projected in second place. One of those lifters really going to be in a hunt for a national title in that 76 kilo battle. 3 white lights for Natalie, starting off strong. Taylor on 2, got that super long range of motion with those longer arms. 52.5 for her opening attempt. Three white lights, that's a good lift on 2. Catherine on 1, taking 75 kilos for her opening attempt. Catherine well ahead in the 76 kilo class. Okay, she gets her opener on the board. Really just going to need a lift in each discipline and continue to execute throughout the day in order to walk away your national champion. On to Samantha, 57.5 for her opening attempt. 3 white lights there. On a 2, Anika hit 60 kilos for her opening attempt. 3 white lights. On 1, Hannah hit 75 kilos for her opening attempt. Just a bit under her body weight bench press. 3 white lights there. On 2, Lucy locks out 60 kilos for her opening attempt. 2 to 1, that's a good lift. Jasmine Harrison, platform 1, 75 kilos for her opening attempt. A little bit of a fight there for Jasmine's opener, but she's on the board. 3 white lights. Kaylee Mann, strong favorite in the 84+ kilo raw division. Yep, I expected that to move super easy. She had a phenomenal squat day. 3 white lights her. 3 white lights for her opening attempt. On 2, Maddie getting set up with her opener at 65 kilos. On 1, Vanessa, currently leading the way based on forecasted total in the 76 equipped class, had a phenomenal squat day. Gonna have to continue executing throughout the day in order to walk away your champion. Three white lights, starting off strong with 80 kilos. It wasn't the fastest opener ever, and I believe she did hit the rack, but she stayed composed, was able to get on the board there. On 1, Bailey getting set up with 87.5 for her opening attempt. Bailey currently forecasted in 4th, a little bit behind in the battle for the top spot, but if any of those lifters start to slip up, like Kaylee, Natalie, Vanessa, she could very well be in that mix. See how she handles this opener. Unfortunately for Bailey, it just looked like a little bit too heavy. It was shaky on the way down, and she's indicating that she might have hit the rack on the way down. You are only going to get 1 lift, 1 attempt, so she's not going to be able to try to repeat that. Could try to get a relift, but I don't think it's going to happen. Probably just going to have to repeat that on her second. Molly on 2, opening up with 77.5. Molly getting that very, very long press command, but that is because she did not fully touch her chest yet. The bar was kind of hovering, and that's why she got such a delay on that press command, because the bar was not fully touching her chest. Fortunately, that's going to be no lift for Molly. And that's worrying because that's her opener, so hopefully she could come back with that on her second. Hopefully that didn't take too much energy out of her. Elizabeth having to re-rack the weight. Not exactly sure what happened there. Elizabeth opening up with 95 kilos, 210 pounds. One of those lifters kind of in contention for a top 5 place in the 76 kilo class. On 2, Jenna Austin, 85 kilos for her opening attempt. Ah, big fight there for Elizabeth. I'm not sure if that's gonna count. 2 to 1, it's a good lift. The chief referee saw the same thing I did, maybe slight up and down motion, but majority rules, and she is on the board, thankfully. Kaylin on 2, getting set up with 90 kilos for her opening attempt, 198 pounds. We are in the 84 plus equipped division. She's currently forecasted in 4th place. A little bit of a spread between her and 5th place, so likely gonna end up in that top 4. Oh yeah, they look pretty well. And on platform 1, Kaylee Robin in the 76 kilo equipped class, getting set up with her opener at 115 kilos. This is 253 pounds from a 76 kilo lifter in high school. She is one of those lifters definitely in the hunt for at least the podium positioning, if not in the hunt for the title. Let's see how she handles her opening weight. Slow descent, trying to stay as controlled as possible. And she moves it with relative ease there once she gets that press command. 2 to 1, it's a good lift. That chief referee gave a red card. Believe that was probably on bench depth there, or elbow depth, excuse me. They did not think that her elbow joint got completely parallel with the shoulder joint. But it's majority rules, 2 to 1. She's on the board with that huge bench opener. In on 2, that was a good lift for Zahira with 100 kilos. And now, these are some big benches here. On 2, we are jumping up to 125 for an opening attempt for Michaela. We are in the 84 plus equipped division. Michaela currently forecasted pretty solidly in 2nd. Just trying to continue to execute today. Had a phenomenal squat event going 3 for 3. 125, this is 275 pounds. First on 1, Olivia locks out 57.5, but I don't think it's gonna go. Nope, up and down motion. Still has her opener on the board. All right, let's see this 275 pound bench press from high schooler Michaela. Oh, and I think lifting cast might be lagging there on platform 2, but I'll try to keep you updated best I can. That was a good lift for Michaela. On 1, Caitlin Mai, 65 kilos for her 2nd attempt. Gets a little bit of a delayed press command. That chief referee likely did not think that she was completely motionless, but nonetheless, it's a good lift for her. And now Dage Love, after having a phenomenal squat, 600 pounds, 272.5, opening up with 125 kilos, 275 pounds. Moves it with ease. A little bit shaky at the lockout, but I think that should be good. Just waiting on confirmation on lifting cast. And yep, that is a good lift for Dage Love. She's on the board. And I mean, she literally just needs, with that phenomenal squat, just needs at least 1 lift in the rest of the competition, in the bench and the deadlift, in order to lock up that national title. But she's still gonna wanna do her best, still gonna wanna put up the highest good lift points that she can in order to potentially get on one of the USA national teams, including either the sub-junior worlds team or potentially an NAPF team. On 1, Sagan puts in a big fight with 72.5 kilos. She's a grinder. I remember her opener was a bit hard as well. 3 white lights for her, good lift. Or I believe her opener was hard. Don't quite remember. On 2, that was a good lift for Noella's 2nd attempt. On one, Amelia, 72.5 for her second attempt. Big fight there, but I think that should count. 3 white lights, that's a good lift. For her, I'd probably just take the minimum 2.5 kilo jump from there. But she adds those extra 7.5 kilos to her total. On two, Kylie Fallis getting set up with 57.5 for her second attempt. On one, Natalie, 75 kilos for her second attempt. Kylie has to put in some work, but locks it out. Three white lights on one for Natalie, and on two, that is a good lift for Kylie. Platform one, Catherine elects to have a self-lift off, 80 kilos for her second attempt. Forecasted ahead in the raw 76 kilo class. Moves 80 kilos, 3 white lights. On platform two, no question on lockout there for Taylor. 57.5, should be a good lift for her. Oh, unfortunately that's gonna be a no lift. Not exactly sure what that was for, as with the lifting cast error, we can't see the color cards, but she's probably gonna repeat that. On the one, Hannah Williams getting set up with her second attempt at 80 kilos. On two, Samantha Frank about to take 60 kilos for her second attempt. Unfortunately, that's not going to go for Samantha. Really glad she got her opener, which was just 2.5 kilos below that. And that's what I've been saying. With bench press, the wall, it comes on pretty fast. On platform one, that is a 2-to-1 call. Good lift. On platform two, Anika, 62.5. Slow off the chest, but she fights through that sticking point. Should be a good lift for her, and it is. On one, Jasmine taking a 5-kilo jump to 80 kilos. Oh, Jasmine, a bit of a shaky time on the way down, and a bit of a shaky time on the way up, too. I don't know how she locked that out. I don't think it's going to count, so let's see what the judges say. Yeah, unfortunately, she got blue cards based on up and down motion. That was her second attempt, so she's got another shot at it. Lucy on two, 65 kilos for her second attempt. Lucy, continuing the momentum she has built, has not missed a lift yet. Should be a good lift, and it is for Lucy. On one, Vanessa, taking a 7.5-kilo jump to 87.5. I want to see how she handles this. I thought her opener was good, but a bit of work. 7.5 kilos is relatively a big jump. She is forecasted ahead in the class in first place, but gonna have to continue to execute. Let's see how she handles this. Okay. Bit slow, but she fights through that sticking point. No issue there. Pretty smooth. 3 white lights for her. Picks up an extra 7.5 kilos towards her campaign to become the national champion. On to Maddie, 70 kilos for her second attempt. Should be a good lift there on 2. And it is for Maddie. On platform 1, interesting decisions here. Bailey missed her opening attempt at 87.5, decided to go up anyways. And if you remember her opening attempt, it was a bit shaky. I think she hit the rack on the way down, and that's why it was hard. Maybe that's why they opted to go up anyways. See how she handles this. It's a bit of a fight at the top. Locks it out. What are the judges going to say? 2 to 1, it's a good lift. Big sigh of relief there for Bailey as she gets on the board. Stays in the hunt of getting a top 5 position in the 76 kilo equipped class. Molly on 2. Missed her opening attempt at 77.5 kilos. Don't exactly remember why she missed it. Hopefully she'd get this on her second. On 1, Elizabeth, 97.5 kilos, 215 pounds. Wow, Elizabeth smokes that. On platform 2, on platform 1, that was a good lift for Elizabeth. Platform 2, having to check lifting cast, that is a good lift for Molly. Avoiding bombing out, especially it's a little bit tough when that lift was a little bit difficult, but she is on the board. Jenna Austin on 2, taking a huge jump here, 12.5 kilos to her second attempt at 97.5. Let's see how she handles this big jump on 2. It's a bit of work, but she locks it out. Should be a good lift, and it is. That big jump pays off, adds those 12.5 kilos to her total. Kaylee on 1, looking to do the same, taking a big 12.5 kilo jump to a big bench at 127.5. That is 280 pounds as a 76 kilo lifter in high school. Really in the hunt for a top 3 position, potentially the national title. This is a big pivotal attempt for her. Slow descent. Gets that press command. Wow! And she handles that 12.5 kilo jump well. That's what makes equipped lifting so interesting. I mean, normally on raw lifting, you would never see that, I would say never, but it's very rare to see a big jump like that move so well. But for Kaylee, slow on the way down, gets that press command, shoots back up, adds those valuable 12.5 kilos. On 2, that was a good lift for Kaylin. Yeah, we're seeing some phenomenal bench presses here from these high school lifters. I mean, pressing 250 plus pounds is just insane. Sahira on 2, again taking a 12.5 kilo jump to 112.5. This is about 248 pounds for her. Currently forecasted in 3rd place in the 84 plus kilo class. On 1, we are moving into 3rd attempts. 60 kilos on the bar for Olivia. Missed her second attempt, opted to go up anyways. It's just going to be a little too much for Olivia. Sahira, on the other hand, moves 112.5 kilos, and that is a good lift for her. 12.5 kilos do not slow her down that much. Really, if you're watching Platform 2, watching the 84 plus kilo class, we're seeing some phenomenal lifting here. I mean, we saw Dage Love hit 272.5. That was an unofficial sub-junior world record with that big 600 pounds. Now we're gonna see Michaela in the same class attempting 132.5. That is 292 pounds. Like, I don't think I can comprehend this. These girls are in high school, benching nearly 300 pounds. On platform 1, Caitlin, 70 kilos for her final attempt. I think that was a good call from the coaching staff there on 1. To the 1, that's a good lift. Michaela on 2, let's see this big bench, second attempt. Gets the press command, having to fight through it, and she does. See what the judges say. Forgot that lifting cast was being a little finicky, but that is a good lift for Michaela. And now Dage Love continues her phenomenal performance here. Forecasted well ahead in the class. Disaster would have to strike in the deadlifts for her not to win, but she is trying to add 12.5 kilos here. This is the big 300-pound bench. 303 pounds, absolutely insane. This is gonna, I mean, she already broke the national record by Luella Bowden, trying to add more to it, trying to add 12.5 kilos to her own national record. Wow, Dage Love, what is going on? She moved 300 pounds like it was nothing. I can't imagine that being a no lift, and it's a good lift. Really fantastic. Can't wait to see what she puts on for her third. On platform 1, that ended up being a no lift for Sagan on her third attempt. Amelia on 1 getting set up with 75 kilos, trying to go 6 for 6 on the day. Unfortunately, it's just going to be a little too much. She did do all that she can on the day since she only took that 2.5 kilo jump. Ends off with 72.5 in the bench press. Taylor on 2, retaking 57.5. I believe she locked it out, but just had some sort of technical mishap. That looks a lot smoother. And that should be a good lift for Taylor, and it is. It's redemption on that second attempt there. Natalie on 1, 5 kilo jump to 80 kilos. Oh, has a little bit of a mishap there. Perhaps the bench shirt is a little bit tight. It's very restrictive. Can still set up, has some time. On 2, Noella, 60 kilos, 7.5 kilo jump here. I'm not sure what's going on 1. I think she might have ended up timing out. Oh no, she's got 20 seconds. I think the bench shirt might just be a little too restrictive for her, and then she decided, okay, it's not gonna happen today. On 2, that is going to be, I missed the lift. That's gonna be a no lift for Noella, and also no lift on 1, unfortunately, for Natalie. On 2, Samantha retaking her second attempt with 60 kilos. On 1, Jasmine, again retaking her second attempt that she missed at 80 kilos. Jasmine got blue cards on her second attempt, so I think she was able to get it up, but just got that up and down motion. Samantha fighting through 60 kilos. I think that should count. And it does. That's a good lift for Samantha. On 1 for Jasmine. That's also going to be a good lift. 2 to 1 for Jasmine. Picking up those extra kilos that she almost missed out on by missing her second attempt. Kylie on 2. Making sure they have the foot blocks there. Some lifters prefer to use that just so they can get better leg drive. On 1, Catherine in the raw 76 kilo class, forecasted well ahead, just trying to add an extra 2.5 kilos here. On 2, Kylie setting up with 60 kilos for her final attempt. On 1, that's going to be no lift for Catherine. Still walks away with all she could do on the day, 80 kilos. On 2, similar story for Kylie. Doesn't get 60 kilos, but only took that minimum jump, so she walked away with all that she could do on the day with 57.5. And on 1, Hannah Williams taking a 2.5 kilo jump to 82.5. Trying to go 3 for 3. Anika on 2, 65 kilos. Also trying to go 3 for 3. Fights through the weight. Should be, oh, I'm not sure if that's a good lift or not. On 1, Hannah fights through 82.5. Unfortunately, on 2, that's going to be a no lift for Anika. On 1, that's going to be a good lift for Hannah, 2 to 1 call. Yeah, for Anika, I'm not exactly sure what happened there since lifting cast messing up. We don't have the color cards, but it's going to be a no lift. On 2, Lucy taking a 5 kilo jump to 70 kilos. Trying to go 6 for 6 on the day. And I think she's done it. I think that was a good call there. Should be a good lift. And it is. Lucy 6 for 6 leading into deadlifts. Vanessa on 1, 76 kilo, forecasted first, trying to add 2.5 kilos here. Still fighting, and it's just not gonna go. Unfortunately for Vanessa, that is her first missed lift of the day. But again, she just jumped that 2.5 kilos. And if we're looking at the forecasted, Vanessa now forecasted second place, but that includes Kaylee's huge bench press attempt, which is going to come up here in just a few minutes on platform 1 with 137.5. Platform 2, Kaylee Mann, 75 kilos, just isn't there today. Walks away with 72.5. Still forecasted ahead in the 84 kilo class. 84 plus kilo class, excuse me. On 1, Bailey Donovan avoided disaster by hitting that hard second attempt, jumping 5 kilos after a missed opener. Now I'm just trying to add 2.5 kilos. Even if she locks it out, that's not gonna go. Yeah, used up a bit of energy there, but she still is on the board, walks away with 1 bench press. Gonna try to turn things around in the deadlift to go 3 for 3. Currently forecasted 4th, but Elizabeth not too far behind her on platform 1. On platform 2, Maddie, 75 kilos for her final attempt. Really good grind there. Should be a good lift. And it is for Maddie. Now Elizabeth, forecasted in 5th place. That includes this 3rd attempt. Not too far behind Bailey in the 76 kilo class. Both of them will probably be jockeying around for 4th and 5th place. But if the other lifters at the top starts to slip up, then they could sneak into the podium. Molly on platform 2, 82.5 kilos for her final attempt. Not sure what's going on 1. 2 having that very slow descent for Molly. I think the same thing happened on her first attempt where she got that delayed press command. Still locks it out. See what the judges say on that. That's gonna be a good lift for Molly. Really good comeback from that opener. Elizabeth trying to add 5 kilos here. I think she's done it. 3 white lights for Elizabeth, the big 102.5 bench press, 226 pounds. On 2, Jenna Austin attempts 100 kilos. Should be a good lift on 2. And it is. And on 1, Kaylee Robin. This is a huge bench press attempt. Has already hit the sub-junior national record, which did sit at 122.5. Now trying to extend that even further, hitting the big 300 pounds as a lifter in high school. On 2, Kaylin trying to hit the big 102.5, 226 pounds. Fight on 2, but it's not going to go for her. Now Kaylee, let's see this 300-pound bench press. Adding 10 kilos in the hunt for the title of the 76 equipped ladies. Oh, whew, really good catch from the spotters there. You'll see that relatively often in the equipped lifting, just because of the nature of the bench shirt. You see lifters taking a really heavy attempt, and then it often goes towards their face. That's why we have the face savers. That's why we have the spotters helping us out. On to Zahira Hayes, taking a big 12.5 kilo jump to 125. And on 1, that is going to wrap up our action on the bench press in session 1 of day 3, the final day of Powerlifting America High School Nationals. Don't go anywhere. We will see you in 10 short minutes as we jump back into the action of the deadlifts. We will see you then. Welcome back to the action at Powerlifting America High School Nationals Platform 1. We are going to lead into the final event of Session 1, the deadlifts. This is really where the excitement begins. I mean, there's been excitement all the way through, but this is where the excitement kind of amps up. This is where positioning, placings are decided. This is where lifters are solidifying their total, trying to end off the day on a high note, and it's a really fun time. Just a reminder, this Session 1 is going to hold all Varsity Female 69, 76, 84, and 84 plus kilo lifters. That is going to include both raw and equipped lifters. We're going to bounce back and forth between divisions, try to keep you updated. And another reminder, this meet is one of the official qualifiers for the 2024 IPF World Classic and Equipped Sub-Junior Championships and the NAPF North American Powerlifting Championships. And this meet is not the only qualifier. There are a few. So there are going to be lifters trying to make a case to get on those national teams. And to do that, they're going to put up the highest total they can, the highest good lift points they can. And those teams are going to be decided after 8 division nationals next month. Bar is loaded for Madison, starting us off with 112.5 kilos. Move very easy, exactly what you expect from an opener. You're right, lads, it's a good lift. Abigail coming out to 117.5 for her opening attempt. Should be a good lift there, and it is. 3 white lights. And all of these lifters, once they hit an attempt in the deadlift, so long as they have hit at least 1 attempt in the squat and bench, that means that they are solidifying their total, not going to risk bombing out. Often you see lifters hit an easy opener, then take bigger jumps from there, since you're not going to risk being disqualified from the competition. Abby coming out to 122.5 for her opening attempt. Super easy there. Should be a good lift, and it is. 3 white lights. Welcome back to the action on Platform 2 at the 2024 Powerlifting America High School Nationals. We're going to get back into the action in just a minute. Allison Turner is going to start us off with 100 kilos. We are moving into the deadlifts. This is the final event of any powerlifting meet. This is really going to be where the fun kind of amps up. This is going to be where lifters jockey around for positioning, solidify their totals, really go out and have fun at their last event of the meet. On 1, Alana Bailey, 125 kilos for her opening attempt. A little bit sticky at lockout, but still pretty easy first attempt for Alana. 3 white lights. On platform 2, Allison, 100 kilos, starting us off. Should be a good lift. Lifting cast is still acting up a little bit. And yep, that's a good lift. On platform 1, Juliet starting off with 125 kilos. That's a good lift for Juliet, starting off strong. On platform 2, Christina opening up with 107.5. Makes easy work with that. Platform 1, Charlotte. A little bit sticky at lockout, but 2 to 1, it's a good call. It's a good lift, 132.5. Platform 2, Jocelyn opening up with 117.5 kilos. Should be a good lift on 2. And on platform 1, Callie. The battle is going to end here. Callie going against Amaya for the 69 kilo national title. Both of them opening up at the exact same weight. Callie just solidified a 382.5 kilo total. Amaya, after she hits this opener, going to be at a 390 kilo total. Callie's opener was super fast. Let's see how Amaya's moves. On platform 2, Hannah Johnson walking out to 125 kilos. Should be a good lift on 2. On 1, that is also a good lift for Amaya. Naomi Lucas on 1, walking out to 137.5 kilo opener. Gabriella on 2, opening up with 125. A little bit sticky at the top for Naomi, but she locks it out. 3 white lights. Araceli, 130 kilos for her opening attempt. Should be a good lift there. And Ella on 1, 3 white lights for her opening attempt. Yep, that was a good lift for Araceli on 2. Oh, excuse me, that was Jack. I'm not exactly sure what happened there on 2. They're going to get that sorted out. On 1, Celeste opening up with 147.5. Competing as a guest lifter. Was able to stay in the meet by getting that last attempt squat. Okay, now on 2, Araceli is going. That was Jade going before. We'll hear her opener. Bit of a slow opener for Celeste. Oh, and I think she jumped the down command. Yeah, there it is. Those yellow cards indicates that she jumped that down command. For Araceli, that is a good lift for her. Pretty much locking up that national championship. Jocelyn is about, let's see, Jocelyn's a bit behind Araceli. As long as Araceli continues to make lifts, she should be walking with the national championship. Taylor Durham coming up next on 2, 132.5.
No, not always. Sometimes I say something less. I hear you. Not really.
Taylor Durham, if everyone makes their opener, she'll be sitting in 3rd place. Crystal Hernandez on platform 1, 155 for her opening attempt. And Crystal, actually, with this attempt, as long as that's a good lift, she will be your national champion. And it is 2-1. Oh, Taylor Durham coming out to 132.5. Oh, Taylor Durham. It's tough off the ground, and that is not what you're going to expect from an opener. Typically, you're going to expect an opener to be very easy. Taylor's had a good day so far. Hasn't missed a lift until then. Hopefully, it was just some sort of misgroup. Maybe the bar got a little bit ahead of her at the bottom. Oh. Yeah, just having a bit of technical issues there on 2. There we go. At first, Taylor's... Let's see. They're trying to sort it out, too. On 1, Madison opening up, or 2nd attempt already. 120 kilos. Oh, and Taylor actually did hit her opener. That was Candace. They had to sort out lifting cast there. That was Candace on 2 who missed her opener at 132.5. On 1, Abigail, 2nd attempt with 122.5. And that move kind of how you expect the second to go. Harder than your opener, but not an all-out grinder. Bailey on 2, smokes 145 for her opener. On 1, Abby setting up with 132.5. On 2, Mackenzie Wells should pretty much lock up the championship if she gets this opener. And there it is, 185 kilos, 407 pounds for opening attempt. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. On 1, that's also a good lift.
Same one as Abby, so the only one that had Taylor on the other platform, ACL float is like a watcher. So we can make sure if we need to go up more than what the plan is.
Alana having a tough time at lockout with 132.5. I think she's able to get through. See what the judges say there. Allison also having a tough time on lockout. Unfortunately, on 1, that's going to be a no lift, and on 2, that's also going to be a no lift. Not what you expect from the 2nd attempt. At least they've got their openers on the board. On to Christina. Good lift with her 2nd attempt at 120 kilos. And on 1, Callie hitting 142.5 for her 2nd attempt. That pulled Callie not quite back into the lead. That puts her at the same total as Amaya, but Amaya is going to have the body weight advantage. Jocelyn on 2, 130 kilos. 3 white lights. Charlotte on 1. Unfortunately, it's going to be a no lift for her. Candice on 2, missed her opener, trying to get this on her second attempt. Unfortunately, that's a no lift for her. It just looks like perhaps a strength issue on the day. She's going to come back and try to hit that on her third in order to stay in the competition. Araceli on 2, hitting 135 for her second attempt. That's a good lift. Juliet on 1, 142.5 for her second attempt. Bit sticky at lockout, but she is able to lock it out, according to 2 of the referees. 2 to 1, that's a good lift. Platform 2, Hannah Johnson taking a 10-kilo jump to 135. Handles it well. On 1, Naomi, 145 kilos for her second attempt. White lights, that's a good lift for Naomi. Gabriella on 2, 137.5 for her second attempt. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. Jade on 2, 137.5. Amaya on 1, currently sitting at the same total as Callie, trying to add 12.5 kilos to that spread. And I think she's done it. 3 white lights, that puts Amaya at a 402.5 kilo total. It's gonna be kind of difficult for Callie to catch up from there. Callie is probably, I would suggest, since she is pretty solidly in second, if she wants to go for the Hail Mary pull into first place, she's gonna have to add 15 kilos to her second attempt. We'll see what she does on her thirds. Platform 2, Taylor, 140 kilos. Sitting, or if everyone makes their openers, going to be sitting in 3rd place. Oh, everyone did make their openers, excuse me. Sitting in 3rd place in the class, 3 white lights, furthers her spread on 4th place there. Hasn't missed a lift yet. Celeste on 1, missed her opener. Not having the best day, only walking away with 1 squat. Missed her opener on bench, was able to come back and hit 2 benches. Trying to hit this opener, retaking it, 147.5. I think she has done it there. Oh man, I thought that was good. Gets a 1 red card for lockout, blue card for probably supporting on the thighs. Now she's really in a tough situation. Now again, since she's a guest lifter, she's not going to be competing for placing, but she would still like to post up a total on the day. Platform 1, Ella Riley, 152.5 for her second attempt. Tough with the lockout, but she sticks with it. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. And Ella currently sitting in 4th place, but sitting at the exact same total as Juliet in 3rd in the 69 kilo class. Mackenzie Wells on 2. Great fight there for her second attempt at 190 kilos. Already pretty much locked up the championship, just trying to add more to her winning performance.
Steady, steady, not stop.
On 1, Crystal taking her second attempt at 165 kilos. On 2, we are already into third attempts as Allison retakes 115. That's a good lift for Crystal on her second attempt. On 2, it's a big fight for Allison. Hits almost 5 different sticking points. Unfortunately, isn't able to break through all of them. Just walks away with her opener on deadlifts. On 1, Abigail locking out her final attempt with 127.5. She goes 3 for 3, ending off the day strong. Candace facing a tough situation here. Needs this lift to stay in the competition. Really showing her heart there, trying to get it up. Unfortunately, it was just a bit too heavy of an opener, and that is our first bomb out of the final day at High School Nationals. Bit of an issue again with lifting cast. Now for Candace, that's going to be heartbreaking, but there are going to be other meets in the future, especially in high school. I mean, you're just getting started in the sport. There's going to be other meets. It's really heartbreaking to bomb out, especially at a national level event, but many, many people, especially even elite athletes, have come back from a situation like that. Unfortunately for Alana, that's going to be no lift on 1. She's going to walk away with just her opener. On 1, Madison coming out took a fairly big jump here, 17.5 kilos to 137.5. This could be what some may call a YOLO pull. I mean, you're already at the end of the day, it's your final pull. You might as well go for that big milestone of 300 pounds. Christina on 2, getting set up with 132.5. Oh, wow, and the YOLO pull might pay off as Madison sticks with the fight. I don't think it's going to be there today, unfortunately. Walks away 2 for 3 in the deadlifts. On 3, on platform 2, that is a good lift. Christina walks away 3 for 3 in the deadlifts, ending off the day strong. On 1, Abby getting set up with 142.5. On 2, Jocelyn getting set up with 137.5. Both of their final lifts of the day. For Jocelyn, she's just going to walk away 2 for 3. For on platform 1, that's going to be a 3 for 3 day. Really good comeback from Abby. I mean, going from nearly bombing out in the squats, getting that third attempt, didn't miss a lift since then. Great comeback for her. Araceli on 1. Already going to be your national champion in the 84 kilo division, just trying to add 5 kilos to that winning performance. Can she lock it out? Unfortunately, that's going to be no lift for Araceli, but she still walks away your raw varsity 84 kilo high school national champion with a 332.5 kilo total. On platform 1, Celeste, our guest lifter, facing a bomb out situation, needs this lift to post up a total in the competition, and it looks better than her first 2. I think she's done it. Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights. Great job for Celeste, savoring the day, getting that final attempt to post up a total in the competition. And on to Hannah Johnson, puts in a huge fight with 147.5. I think that might count. Let's see what the judges say. Unfortunately, my eyes deceived me. She gets 3 red lights, a red card for lockout, and blue cards for slightly supporting on the thighs. On platform 2, Jade, 147.5 for her final attempt. Trying to go 9 for 9 on the day. Locks it out. I think she's done it. 3 white lights. That's a great day of lifting for Jade. 9 for 9, 357.5 kilo total. Now on platform 1, Juliet, currently in 3rd place, trying to defend that 3rd place against Ella Riley. But she is going to deadlift first. Needs to hit this attempt to put a 5 kilo spread between her and Ella. Is she gonna lock it out? It's not going. Juliet ends off with a 370 kilo total. Ella Riley going to come up in just a few lifters, going to try to seal away that 3rd place position. For Taylor on 2, that is a good lift for her. And Taylor does end up in that 3rd place position in the 84 kilo equipped class. Naomi on 1, 150 kilos to end off her day. Putting in a big fight there. It's just not going to go. She ends up 2 for 3. On platform 2, a big fight from Bailey for her final attempt with 165. Unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift for Bailey. She ends off 2nd place in the 84 kilo equipped division. Still a great day of lifting, 8 for 9, 437.5 kilo total. And on platform 1, Ella Riley, putting that attempt change, just needs an extra 2.5 kilos from her 2nd attempt to pull into 3rd place over Juliet. Is she gonna lock it out for that podium position? And she does. That should be a good lift. And it is 3 white lights for Ella, ends off in 3rd place in the 69 kilo equipped division. And Mackenzie Wells on 2. The excitement does not stop there. Mackenzie, already your national champion, trying to add 7.5 kilos to her total here. Unfortunately, that is going to be a no lift for Mackenzie, but fortunately, she is still your equipped varsity 84 kilo high school national champion with a huge 492.5 kilo total, trying to make a strong campaign to end up on one of the national teams. And on platform 1, the battle is ending in the 69 kilo class. Callie did end up making that 15 kilo jump to try to pull for the win. And I commend her for making that jump regardless. She had nothing to lose. She was already solidly in 2nd place. It was the right call to put in that attempt change to try, and she shows respect to the referees, giving them a handshake. Callie ends off in 2nd place in the 69 kilo equipped class with a 390 kilo total. On platform 2, we're going to roll straight into flight B. Kylie's gonna start us off with a 110 kilo total. And now Amaya Fobb on 1, already your national champion, looking to add 10 kilos to her winning performance. Really had a phenomenal day of lifting so far. Hasn't missed a lift yet. Gonna try to go 9 for 9 to cap off the day. Almost lose her balance there, trying to figure out her setup. Onto Kylie locks out 110 for her opener. That's a good lift. Wow, and it's not even that hard for Amaya. Really a phenomenal day for her. 3 white lights, 9 for 9 on the day. Amaya Fobb is going to be your equipped varsity 69 kilo high school national champion with a 412.5 kilo total. Great day of lifting for both her and Callie, going back and forth throughout the day, and Amaya ends up on top. On platform 2, that was a good opener for Jenna Austin with 112.5. And on platform 1, Crystal Hernandez, already your national champion, just trying to add 5 kilos to her winning total. On platform 2, Molly gets set up with 112.5. Looks like a solid opener on 2. Crystal, can she stick with the fight? And she does. She continues fighting through, grinding through that 170 kilos. What a fight. What a showing from Crystal Hernandez. 3 white lights, going from one for 3 in the squats, in the bench, in the deadlift. Did not miss a single lift there. Crystal Hernandez is going to be your raw varsity 69 kilo high school national champion with a 392.5 kilo total. And on 1, we are going to roll straight into Flight B, our final flight of session 1 of the final day of high school nationals. Platform 2, Maddie hits a smooth opener with 112.5. And then 1, that was a good lift for Jasmine Harrison. $120 for Noella's opener on 2. Good lift. Sagan on 1, 115 for her opening attempt. If you're following along with the scorecard, on platform 1, we're going to have all 76 kilo lifters in both the raw and equipped division. And on platform 2, we're going to have all 84 plus kilo lifters in the raw and equipped division. That was a good lift on 2 for Samantha with 120. On 1, Olivia, 115 for her opening attempt. Stands up with it, and that's a good lift. And on platform 2, that was also a good lift for Lucy with 120. On 1, Caitlin Maya getting us started with 120 kilos. Platform 2, Anika, 125. Easy opener there. She will be sitting in 2nd place after everyone hits their openers. On 1, that is a good lift for Caitlin. Amelia on 1, hits her opening attempt with 122.5. Taylor on 2, 132.5, also a good lift. On one, that is a 2-to-1. Good lift for Kaylee. And now on 2, Kaylee Mann, 137.5 for her opening attempt. 3 white lights, well ahead in the 84+ kilo raw division. Pretty much locked up the national championship with that opening attempt. On platform 2, Kaylin, 150 kilos, going to be sitting in 4th place if everyone hits their openers. A little bit slow for an opening attempt. Should be a good lift nonetheless. And it is 3 white lights. Elizabeth on 130 kilos on the bar for her opening attempt. Going to be sitting in 5th place if everyone hits their openers. Could jockey around with Bailey Donovan. They could swap 4th and 5th place. We'll just see how that goes. On to Zahira Hayes, 160 kilos for her opening attempt. Going to be sitting pretty solidly in that 3rd place position in the 84+ kilo equipped class. On platform 1, Hannah Williams, starting off with a 137.5 kilo first attempt. And yeah, Zahira, that was super easy. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. On Hannah, a little bit sticky at lockout, but that should be a good lift. 3 white lights it is. Now, Dage Love on platform 2. I am excited to see where she goes in the deadlift. I mean, her lifting throughout the day, it's been phenomenal, and it's also been super easy. So I'm excited to see where she goes on the deadlifts. She already hit that unofficial world record with her final squat of 272.5, 600 pounds, and a phenomenal bench press too. See what happens on the deadlifts. Yep, and as expected, super easy opening attempt. On platform 1, Vanessa hit also an easy opening attempt. That puts her at a 422.5 kilo total, putting her just ahead of Kaylee Robin based on forecasted. But right now, Vanessa's going to be ahead of the pack, having a 10 kilo spread between her and Kaylee Robin. But Vanessa, she leads the pack, but she's going to have to continue to execute so just she doesn't swing the door open for any of the other competitors. Platform 2, Michaela, opening up with 175 kilos. Going to be sitting pretty solidly in 2nd place. Just going to have to continue to make her lifts, as she has throughout the day. 6 for 6 leading into deadlifts. Platform 1, Catherine. Looked like a good lift on 2, and a good lift on 1. Catherine pretty much locked up that national championship with that opening attempt in the raw 76 kilo class. But of course, she's going to want to end the day off strong, go 3 for 3. Bailey Donovan in the 76 kilo class on 1, 160 kilos for opening attempt. Bit tough at lockout, especially for an opening attempt. 3 white lights, it's a good lift nonetheless. Wondering where she goes from there. She is currently going to be in 3rd place, but that 3rd place is kind of vulnerable against lifters like Elizabeth, who are looking to jump up and take that place. On platform 2, Kylie putting in a fight to lock out 115 kilos, waiting for that down command. Unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift. 3 red lights, gets a red card based on lockout and a blue card based on probably supporting on the thighs at the top. On platform 2, Maddie hits a pretty smooth 2nd attempt with 120. 3 white lights. On one, Jasmine Harrison, 112.5 for her second attempt. Moving pretty smooth, kind of how a second attempt should. 3 wet lights. Platform 2, Molly, walking out to 122.5. On one, that is a good lift for Sagan with 122.5 on her second attempt. On two, Noella stands up with 125 on her second attempt. That's a good lift. Samantha putting in a bit of work with her second attempt, 125 kilos. But it's a good lift, 3 white lights. Caitlin on one, 125 kilos for her second attempt. Bit of work she's got to put in at the lockout. Oh, unfortunately 2-1 no lift, gets those blue cards, likely based on supporting at the thighs at the top. Jenna Austin, 125 kilos for her second attempt. Again, we're seeing kind of hard seconds on both platforms, but she locks it out. According to 2 referees, she does lock it out. 2-1, that's a good lift. Olivia on one, again, another tough second attempt. 125 kilos, 3 white lights. Now, what does that mean? When you hit a tough second attempt, you're gonna wanna have room to grow to your third attempt. Of course, it's really tough when you miss that final attempt of the day. So I expect a lot of those lifters who had a bit of a tough second to take a smaller jump to their third, maybe just the minimum 2.5 for some of them. Lucy on two, 130 kilos. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. Kaylee Robin in the hunt in the 76 kilo equipped battle. Currently in second place. This is going to give her a 420 kilo total. Not going to push her above Vanessa, but setting her up to potentially pull over Vanessa. And that moved fairly well. 2-1, that's a good lift for Kaylee. Adds those extra 7.5 kilos to her total. Anika on two, 135 kilos. And that's a good lift for Anika. Anika sitting pretty solidly in second place in the 84 plus kilo class. On platform 1, Amelia, 132.5 for her second attempt. Again, sitting pretty solidly in second place in her respective class, the 76 kilo raw division. And Kaylee Mann on platform 2, pretty much already locked up the national title, trying to add 5 kilos here to her total. Bit of a tough second attempt there. Unfortunately, it's going to be no lift for Kaylee. Blue cards based on likely up and down motion or supporting on the thighs. Elizabeth on one. Adding 10 kilos to her total here. She was currently in 5th place, pulling into 4th place. And that is successful. 2-1, it's a good lift. Platform 2, Taylor, 142.5 for her second attempt. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. Kaylin on 2, fighting through with 155 kilos. Currently sitting in 4th place. 3 white lights for her. Probably going to end up in 4th place, sitting pretty solidly there. Hannah Williams on 1. That is a good lift for her, adding those 10 kilos to the total. And on platform 1, Vanessa currently leads the way in the 76 kilo equipped battle. Has to execute to keep that lead, trying to add 7.5 kilos to her spread. Wow, and she does it relatively easily. 3 white lights, that's a good lift for Vanessa, putting her at a 430 kilo total. Zahira on 2, adding 15 kilos to her total there. Going to be sitting pretty solidly in the bronze medal position in the 84 plus kilo equipped class. Michaela on 2, walking out to 187.5 kilos. Sitting in 2nd place, likely going to end up in 2nd place. But trying to get this 413-pound deadlift on her 2nd attempt. Already sitting at a 505 kilo total. Three white lights, that's a good lift for Michaela. Jumping up to 517.5. And on 1, unfortunately, that was a no lift for Catherine. She locked it out, or nearly locked it out, seemed to drop it at the top. I'm really glad she got her opener because that does lock up her national championship win. And now on platform 1, Bailey setting up with 165 kilos. Currently in 5th place. Dage on platform 2. Wow, big 25 kilo jump for Dage, as she has been taking big jumps all day. Didn't slow her down that much. That puts her at a 617.5 kilo total. That is insane. She is the runaway. She's already won. She doesn't even have to take a 3rd attempt, but I imagine she's going to, and she is likely going to make it move easy. On platform 1, Natalie, 172.5, locks it out. Currently in 3rd place. And that pulled her into provisional silver place over Kaylee Robin. Currently, Natalie sits at the 420 kilo total. Kaylee Robin sits at the 420 kilo total. It's going to come down to the last deadlift between the 2 of them. Kylie on 2, 115 for her final attempt. She shakes her head. She says, that's not going to go. Just walks away with her opener there. Jasmine on 1 ends the day 3 for 3 in the deadlifts with a 120 kilo total. Really great way to end the day. Maddie on 2, 125 kilos for her final attempt. Locks out 125, see what the judges say. 2-1, that's a good lift for Maddie, ending the day 3 for 3 in the deadlifts. Ending the day 9 for 9 on the day, actually. Really great lifting from her. Platform 1, Caitlin retaking 125. Can she lock it out? She does, and I think that's going to be a good lift. Wait to see what the judges say. Oh, unfortunately, I am wrong. That is a 2-1 no lift for Caitlin. Still walks away with her opener. Still was able to post up a total on the day. On platform 1, Olivia, 127.5. 3 white lights, ends the day 3 for 3. Molly trying to do the same, 127.5 on 2. Trying to go 3 for 3. Big fight there for Molly. Locks it out. Wait to see what the judges say. Unfortunately, that's a no lift for Molly. Still goes 2 for 3 on the day. Unfortunately for Sagan, that's going to be a no lift on 1. Still ends up with a 122.5 kilo deadlift. Same story on 2 for Samantha. That's going to be no lift. Ends up with 125 kilos in the deadlift. Big fight on 1 for Amelia, trying to lock out 137.5. 2 to 1, that's a good lift on 1. 3 white lights, that's a good lift on 2 for Noella, ending off 8 for 9 on the day. On platform 2, that's a big fight for Lucy. I don't think it's going to count, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, that's a no lift for her. Platform 1, Kaylee Robin in the 76 kilo battle. Jenna putting in the fight with 137.5. Unfortunately, that's not going to go. Kaylee, unfortunately, that is also going to be a no lift on 1. She is currently in 3rd place. I don't think Elizabeth, who's coming out right after, is going to be able to catch up to her. Elizabeth's probably just going to want to defend her 4th place position. Kaylee ending up at the same total as Natalie in 2nd place, but Natalie beats her out on body weight. And that's exactly why Natalie took that attempt on her 2nd attempt to be able to tie Kaylee on total. So that way, if Kaylee missed her 3rd attempt, as she did, Natalie would end up in 2nd. On platform 2, Anika, really great 3rd attempt there. Going 8 for 9 on the day, ending off in 2nd place in the 84 plus kilo class. Now Elizabeth on 1 in 4th place, trying to defend that 4th place against lifters like Bailey and Hannah in the 76 kilo class. Can she add these extra 7.5 kilos? Fighting to lock it out. Still fighting to lock it out. Wow. Showing her heart on the platform. Unfortunately, that's going to be no lift for Elizabeth. And on 1, Kaylee Mann caps off her winning performance with a 3 white light lift, missing her 2nd, went up anyways, was able to hit that. And Kaylee Mann is going to be a raw varsity 84 plus kilo high school national champion with a 402.5 kilo total. Platform 1, Hannah Williams, currently in 6th place. Going to be staying in 6th place with this attempt, just trying to add 5 kilos to her total here. On 2, that's a big fight for Taylor, but unfortunately it's not going to go. She ends off 2 for 3. Big fight again on 1 off the ground. It's just not going to go. Hannah still ends off 8 for 9 on the day, which is, I say it's a good day. On platform 2, Kaylin trying to end off 3 for 3 in the deadlifts. 160 kilos. She is a big fighter. That's a good lift on 2, and on 1, that is also a good lift for Vanessa Chavira in the equipped 76 kilo class. Really making a strong campaign to walk away the national champion. I mean, she was leading the way, leading into deadlifts, just had to execute. She currently sits at a 435 kilo total, and it's gonna be a big ask from Natalie to come out and beat her, but she has put in the attempt change. Natalie Janke, in just a couple of minutes, is going to be trying to pull for the win over Vanessa Chavira. Really exciting stuff to end off session 1 of the final day of high school nationals. Catherine on platform 1, already your national champion, trying to add these 10 kilos that she missed out on her second attempt. Michaela on 2, sitting in second place, gonna end off in second place no matter what. 3 white lights for Michaela. Great lifting on the day, 9 for 9, 522.5 kilo total, silver medal in the 84 plus kilo division. And on 1, unfortunately, that was a no lift for Catherine. But she is still going to be your national champion in the class. Catherine is going to be your raw varsity 76 kilo high school national champion with a 385 kilo total. And on platform 1, that is a big fight for Bailey. Fortunately, it is not going to go. She ends off in 5th place in the class. That was a pull for her to get into 4th place over Elizabeth Knoll. Zahira, unfortunately, the bar went up and down. That was a big jump for her. Yep, that's going to be no lift for Zahira. She still ends off with a 477.5 kilo total and 3rd place in the 84 plus kilo division. Platform 1, here it is. Excitement on both platforms. Platform 1, Natalie from Germantown High School, currently in 2nd place, has nothing to lose, trying to pull for the win over Vanessa Chavira in the equipped 76 kilo class. On platform 2, Dage Love, already your national champion. And on platform 1, unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift for Natalie. Vanessa Chavira is going to walk away your equipped varsity 76 kilo high school national champion in a phenomenal battle, ending off with a 435 kilo total. And now Dage Love smokes 205 kilos for her final attempt. 3 white lights for Dage Love, 9 for 9 on the day. Phenomenal 627.5 kilo total, unofficial world record squats. Just phenomenal lifting all around on both platforms. Dage Love is going to be your equipped varsity 84 plus kilo high school national champion with that phenomenal 627.5 kilo total. And that is going to wrap up session 1 of day 3 on both platforms at Powerlifting America High School Nationals. But do not go far. The final session of this High School Nationals is going to start at 1 p.m. in about an hour, 15 minutes. You're not going to want to miss it. That's going to have all varsity male, 93, 105, 120, and 120 plus kilo lifters in both equipped and raw divisions. Thank you so much for joining us for session 1, day 3 of High School Nationals. We will see you at 1 p.m. Peace.